gathering here on this cold, I am sorry, I am really struggling. Right now, it is about 24 years and I got here on Friday, on Friday night. So my jet lag and the time difference is really hitting me very hard. I'll do my best. I'm Jambo. I'm very happy to be here with you. I'm happy to be back in, well, to be in, I was in Boston. I have driven here to Law for like an hour or so. I'm excited to be back in Law, Mass, to be meeting all of you Kenyans and just getting to talk a little bit about, diaspora life, what we are doing back home, for me to tell you what is going on, and for us to speak a little bit. I want to thank Sam and the team for sponsoring this event and working with their leadership here to put this together. So thank you very much. Sam, I think we should get some of it because it's not yet written and you can change it much. So thanks, Sam. Now, what does one say to their diaspora who they have not seen in a while? Or what does one say to a new diaspora from? Let me start by saying, first of all, that things are fine at home. Kila kitu kiko sawa, kwa jirani tunaona kumebadilika kidogo. And Kenyans wamefanya ile kitu hapo kwa jirani. But other than that, all is well back home. I met some of you today who I introduced myself to, and they seemed surprised that we have a state department for diaspora affairs. I'm not going to tables like this table. I'm not putting hands on this table. And they seemed surprised that we have a state department for diaspora affairs, and I worried. Worried that because nimekuwa mkifanya kazi gani huku with the Association of Kenyan American Pastors. I'm very but as some of you might know, I'm Roseline from Njogu, I'm here for Diaspora Affairs, and I'm happy to be having this conversation with you. I'm happy to be back here. Talk a little bit about what it is that we've been doing. I'll tell you three quick stories that I love to tell these days about diaspora and the promise of diaspora. Sam and I have worked together now for quite some time. You have been saying he was among the people who are agitating for the department, and now we are here. And I'm also happy to see that after many years abroad, you have come back home. Because it's a big part of the diaspora story, right? So we don't just want you to come out here and live in these frozen lands and occupy the frozen land, but we also want you ultimately to come home, right? That is the journey. We want you to ultimately come home, where it is warm, where mostly where it is lovely, and where people can understand you without you having to roll your tongue so much. But Sam came back and he's doing exciting work at Equity Bank. Bank. And okay, so and we're happy to see that, and I'm hoping as the years go by, we'll see more and more of you coming home, bringing back some investment, some skill, knowledge, technology transfer, network, and being able to do that. Because a big part of the diaspora journey is not just the outward movement and the doing well in new cold lands and occupying till the Lord returns, is also in the return and the bringing the goods and the goodies that we have to around. I want to tell you three quick stories about the power of diaspora. My team, I'd like you to not roll your eyes. I know you have this story now quite a bit. But maybe let me start with a little bit of trivia first. Okay, so in the last few years, our numbers in the diaspora have grown significantly, and we are now our numbers tell us we are about 4 million out in the diaspora, right? 1 million is about 8% of Kenya's entire large group of people, right? 4 million, and we know that we are estimating 4 million because now I am now and it is not that we are worried about it or that we are even, but you're our people. So we number you're about 4 million, and the number is 4. So as a sort of number to note. The other thing is to note that if you're to measure the impact of diaspora, we are seeing that growing significantly over the last few years. One of those numbers is, apart from the people working in remittance and my people here, who can tell me what the remittance number into Kenya last year was? How much money diaspora sent home last year? Sorry?
About 3 billion.
520 billion Kenya shillings? Sorry?
About that.
400 what? Billion? What currency are you talking about? 420 billion Kenya shillings. Umenoa?
4.9.
4.9 what? B what?
Billion.
Yes. Okay? $4.95 billion. Or 672 billion Kenya shillings last year. 672 billion Kenya shillings last year. That is about 4% of our GDP. Okay, Alan, 4% of our GDP. That is I want you to speak that information for a bit. That is a lot. Okay? That is a lot. That money does not come in large and does not come in large investments. It often comes in a trickle. Because if I ask all of you last month, how many people sent some money to Kenya last month? What did you send it for?
I support kids to go into school.
So school fees? Medical?
For my project.
A project, so you're doing an investment? Investment? Sorry? Kid, funeral, right? So, yeah. Investment. So, okay, this group has more investments than usual. Sorry? General maintenance. General maintenance. Yeah. When I come here to too much, na ya kutoa. Yeah. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that the money comes in small trickle. $50 here, $100 here, It is not always, $9,000. Like it's not big chunks. Yeah, it's trickle. But $4.95 billion is a big chunk. Yeah, it is. So therefore, remittances are now second in foreign exchange earnings to what? Who can tell me? Remittances are only in terms of the kind of money that we get from foreign exchange. It is second to what? Tourism, agriculture, umenoa. If I had been really detailed, I'd be very happy. Trade, no. See, no. Foreign aid, no, you wish. Anybody else? I'm sorry? Mining.
Oh no. Last year.
Loan. No. So who lives in forex coming in Kenya? Sorry? There you go. Second to nothing. Okay? Yeah. Yes. Okay, we can clap for you, but also for diaspora, right? what I meant is, diaspora remittances are first in terms of foreign exchange earnings. Okay? They come second to nothing. They come second to nothing. And they come first by a long shot. Yeah, so $4.95 billion is what diaspora sends home Then you have to add number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 to make up the diaspora revolution. So it's not a photo finish. Yeah? It is passed by a long shot. Yeah? So you can clap for yourself again. Now, why am I saying this? To show we've always known that diasporas are impacted. Yeah? We've always known that diasporas are doing an important job out there. But this allows us to give us, it gives us a number, something we can touch and feel, something we can measure, something we can put on a graph. Yeah? And say, look, these people, not in big chunks necessarily, but in the small things of Adishi, healthcare, what are doing this big service to the country. Yeah? 4.95 billion. I said I was going to give you 3 stories. Okay. So 3 stories in terms of the power of diasporas around the world. How many of us here have or know or have been involved in taking somebody to India who is unwell? Yes, it's okay. We should not be shy. Just video. I am. Everybody, almost everybody knows someone who's gone to India for medical care. Yeah. Okay. Did you know that the Indian healthcare system was built by their diaspora? Both the knowledge, the technology, the network, but also the investment. Yeah? That healthcare system was built largely by the diaspora. The diaspora did such an important job that the whole world knows if we need good healthcare and a country that quality in the country or we don't have that kind of expertise and our so that's one of the things that the Indian diaspora does. Okay? That's my first story. Indian healthcare built by diaspora investment and diaspora know-how. I want to give you a second story. Who can tell me? Okay. Who can tell this table here? Who can tell me what happened that was a really important event around 70 AD? 70 AD. 70 of the women.
Israel. Israel.
Sorry?
There was destruction in
Destruction
Israel.
of?
In Israel.
This is a woman of God, isn't it? This is what she knows. Yes. Destruction of Israel. What exactly happened in Israel at the time? It's okay. It's okay. It's not that this one is not a trick question here. What happened? Who destroyed Israel? Sorry? They were dispersed. Yes.
Yeah.
So Rome sacked Israel at the time, isn't it?
Yes.
Them together, whatever, sacked Jerusalem and the Israelis at the time were scattered around. Yeah? And they were dispersed for almost 2,000 years.
Yes.
Until which year? When did Israel become a state again? 1948, isn't it? How is it possible that you destroy a country with no territory to call home? People are dispersed somewhere for almost 2,000 years, and then a UN resolution passes, and you're able to identify territory and say this is Israel, and there are people to come back and form our country. How do you do that? It has never been done anywhere else or before. They were able to do that. Why? Because of money.
Diaspora equals money,
I
right?
know we said we keep our eyes open. They were able to do that because in the 2,000 years that they were dispersed, there was a see, therefore means people of the dispersion, isn't it? They were able to carry forward their nationhood, their culture, their faith, their ideas, their identity in the diaspora for almost 2,000 years and be able to be reborn as a state. What that means is that diaspora, when you go away, you're able to carry with you even the dreams of a nation. Nationhood, you're able to carry with you, identity, you're able to carry with you, all of these things. And if need be, you can come back and discuss. Yeah? Is that a powerful story or not? Yeah? So that is the power of the diaspora. Number one, you can build healthcare systems, entire anchors of our economy. Number two, you can save a nation. Yeah? You can rebirth an entire nation. The third story. When I was growing up, if someone said something irrelevant, we would say, how does that change the wait, just here, how does that change the sorry? The price of tea in China? Okay, we different, whatever, but it is close to this. We used to say, I'm looking for home rate, right? Yeah, I'm not sure now. How does that change the price of? Not sugar. Oh man. Not the price of sugar. Sorry? Unga? No, okay. So let us step outside of Kenya. No, conversation. How does that change the? No, from Romeo, how does that change the? How does that change the price of cocoa in Ghana? Did you ever hear that one growing up? Maybe I might be older than I appear. But when I grew up, people used to say that all the time, right? How does that, when someone says something irrelevant, they would ask you, what does that change the price of cocoa in Ghana? Okay. Okay. So maybe just a point of information, some people say that. Not that here, not everybody knows that. But we are looking at the price of tea in China. This is the graph in Africa, the price of cocoa in Ghana. So, last year, I think it was last year, I met the person who has my job in Ghana. And we're sort of exchanging war stories and talking about how diaspora behave and how, telling them how Kenyan diaspora is, number one around the world, we're trying to tell me the same thing about Ghana, people. So we were exchanging these war stories. That tells me, did you know that the first person who ever brought cocoa, or rather, did you know that cocoa beans were brought or introduced into Ghana by a diaspora? Somebody just said, let's go see, let's go try. Yeah? So they carry cocoa beans to Ghana. Right now, is Ghana's economy, a big part of Ghana's economy is held by cocoa? Yes. Okay. So similar to the healthcare story in India, there's this story here of cocoa in Ghana. Yeah? There are many other stories I can tell you like that of what diasporas have meant to their country, how they have built entire sections of their economy, how they have preserved the dreams of a nation, yeah, how they have brought peace to warring part of the country. I have now in mind Northern Ireland, for example. Okay, so these are some of the things that diasporas do or can do. So when I have these conversations with diaspora, my story will usually end with, now that you're sitting here in the discussion, yeah, and I want to echo part of what the minister said about after you have built your home, after you have done your well, after everything different that you read, and so on. I want to disagree with some of the things that you said about when you talk about you from Gumu. Very juicy. I wish you would come. You would not want to come. Kenya is the land of opportunity. So, after, no, oh, my God. I invite you to come. I invite you to come and just on the leader. So, what I'm saying is this, that after you have done all of those things, after you have After you have sunk your wells, after you've sunk your wells, after you've sunk your vineyards, after you've built the house, that this is what after you've done those things, the question for me and the question to the diaspora is, when we think about the Kenyan diaspora in the US, when we think about the Kenyan diaspora in Massachusetts, what are we going to say is the mark to left of Kenya? If we just think about you guys, right? Kenyans in, and the US is our biggest diaspora in the US, isn't it? But forget the entire US. Just Kenyans in New England, or Kenyans in Boston or in Massachusetts. Ile kitu really ameshindwa kusema. Okay? What will be the mark that you leave on Kenya? Like how in 100 years, in 200 years, how are we going to say this thing came from the Kenyans who lived in? What is that thing? I want you to think, this is my homework. I want you to think about that at length. Yeah? And see what is that thing doing. Because there is something here. There is a reason you are here in March. And there's a reason the Lord allowed you to occupy this part here. And there's a reason you're not in Florida. Where Florida man do Florida man whatever. Right? So there's a reason for that. So but what is that reason for you and for Kenya? Yeah? I want you to take that seriously and think about it. I ask this question to every diaspora group. 2 weeks ago, I was in Cape Town. I asked the Kenyans in South Africa the same thing. What will you be known for? Yes, Amanda, Papa. I will be asking them the same thing. What will you be known for? What is the mark that you're being in that on? So there are many things that we are doing back home. There's many things that the department does. Like, maybe let me say now as I was about to sit down, let me blow my own horn. Yes. Well, not mine, but the department's horn. Why we were in Cape Town last 2 weeks ago is because we won an award. The State Department for Diaspora Affairs won an award across all of Africa for our innovative service delivery to the diaspora. Because of our commitment, because of the 24-hour diaspora response center that we hold where you can call in and get support, and because of our delivery system online for services. Across all of us, we won this award at the Africa Sector Conference and Award. I'm telling you this so that you know that much is going on at home. Much is going on at home. I'm in the experience. I hope you travel home often. Those of you who are not traveling home often, I'm not here to please you and say come home, but come see what's going on. Come enjoy good weather. Bring friends, bring family, bring tourists, bring investors. And come home where you have where it's just a lucky as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to say many things, but I said men. It is very late. Where our bodies feel like it's very, very late. I see that my team has put on the table some FAQs and info packs from the State Department for Diaspora Affairs, so that you can sort of familiarize yourself with, especially females, what it is that we do, and how you can reach us and so on. But apart from that, I want to pause there because I know we will have a time to do some Q&A. I want to pause there and say I want to appreciate you once again for hosting me, for allowing us to have this very exciting conversation, and looking forward to interacting within the Q&A.